Honorable Suarez, di po ba?
Opo.
Hindi man sagutin lang ng resource person or witness yung katanungan muna.
Okay.
Tapos siya mag-explain.
Okay. Resource person. Okay.
Thank you for the reminder, Congressman Acop, sir. And to the members of this committee, I feel, and it is my right to state before this committee and the August Chamber of Congress, that this committee is not above the law. No one in government is above the law. We are a government of laws. I am protected under the SOTO law. I have the constitutional right. I requested per record that I may be given competent advice and assistance of a legal counsel, and such right is guaranteed by the Constitution. And such right is also stipulated clearly in Section 12 of the Governing House Rules pertaining to committee hearing and conduct of investigation. And even if I am not in a court trial, the right to seek out counsel advice and assistance from a counsel is a part of principle of due process, a principle guaranteed by the Constitution. And I believe before I answer any further question, may I manifest respectfully and humbly before this committee that all the statements, even after under oath, in the absence of competent legal advice and assistance previously, may be granted to be stricken off the record because I believe my constitutional rights were violated.
Point of order.
Yes, Honorable.
The answer manifestation of Mr. Ceres is out of order. He is out of order because you cannot dictate in this house and you cannot move. Only members of you ask members of this house.
Yes, I am explaining, sir.
No,
I am not moving.
no, your manifestation is out of order.
I am requesting.
Do not lecture us
No, I am
about
not
the rules
lecturing.
of this.
I am standing up for my right. I am standing up for my right.
Remember, we might cite you in contempt.
Then so be it, Your Honor.
You challenge us?
Yes,
Okay.
if that will be seen in the nation na walang karapatan ang mga invited guests dito na magpahayag, Your Honor, with due respect to you, I do not believe na ang kongresong ito ay lalabag sa karapatan ng mamamayan.
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
So be it, Your Honor.
It's out of order. And what's the position of the chair?
I will need, Mr. Chairman, I will not give up my right to free speech and be respected under the Constitution because this August Chamber is obligated by law.
Dali na po. Hiring.
May I explain why I...
Yes, the Honorable Acop is recognized and I understand. Yung sinasabi po ng ating mga ng ating bisita. Pero alam po ninyo, last, kung ang ginagamit niyo po ay yung hearing nung huli at wala kayong representasyon, hindi po namin kasalanan. Kasalanan po ng mga abogado ng SMNI. Dahil sila mismo on record ang nagsabi na they are here to represent SMNI and not the anchors because dumistansya nga ako sila. Ang sabi nila, hindi po namin trabaho ang bigyan ng representasyon ang anchor. That's why nung humingi po kayo, ang pinalawanan po, hindi po pwede sila mag-depensa sa inyo. Dapat po humingi kayo ng iba. Dahil hindi po pwede sila ang magdepensa because they are on record. Under oath, ang sabi nila, kami abogado ng SMNI at hindi kami abogado ng mga angkor. Klaro po yan, Kyrie. You cannot, you're not allowed. I'm good, yes.
I just like to explain why I cite him is out of order. Because he manifested that the previous records, it is taken out of records. And as resource person, they are not allowed.
Your Honor, I am going to be detained in this chamber and I am submitting myself before the country in protest. My constitutional rights are violated in this committee. I'm sorry to say, let me be detained in this chamber and be cited in contempt. I will not participate if my constitutional right will not be guaranteed. You are not here to decide for my constitutional rights.
Let me finish.
There's a point of order, the Honorable Fernandez.
What I'm saying, I am not telling you to stop. What I'm saying is, by out of order, dahil sandali, makinig ka. My out of order is all about your manifestation to
Papagsalitain niyo
straighten
po ako.
out. Patapusin mo ako.
Yes, sir.
Huwag ka may bastos.
Hindi ako bastos, nagpapaliwanag
Patapusin mo
ako.
ako.
Honorable.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to correct. I am not stopping him to issue statement. What I'm saying is, and what I'm pointing out of order is the manifestation that the previous statement and the previous record should be taken out of order. And another rule, he's not allowed to do it.
Point of order.
Yes, the Honorable Dan Fernandez on the point of order.
Maybe remind the resource speakers and the members of this committee to observe the proper decorum.
Correct.
If the chairman acknowledge a certain personality, let him speak and
Yes.
don't interrupt
Correct.
the members of this committee while the members given the right to speak. Maraming salamat po, Mr.
Thank you,
Chair.
Honorable Dan Fernandez. Honorable ako, is recognized.
Mr. Seris, please be reminded that in this committee and this house, we have rules to follow. Hindi po ba namin sinusunod yung mga rules? Matanong ko nga po.
Yes, sir. I feel that is
And
my...
I would like to remind you that these rules are supposed to be followed by members of this committee and by the witnesses or resource persons to be present. And one of these rules is that before you can speak, you ask permission from the chairman. Kami nga, hindi kami nagsasalita na walang permission yung chairman. You better follow that rule. Otherwise, baka mapilitan akong gawin yung hindi ko dapat gawin.
Now, Mr. Celis, for the last time, please identify your source.
Mr. Chairman, may I be allowed to answer?
Mr. Chair, this is the fourth time I ask Mr. Celis this question. And every time I ask him this question, ang laki ng introduction, wala pa rin yung sagot. Pwede po ba this time, pag pinagbigyan natin siya magsalita, sabihin niya na po yung pangalan?
Kasi, kasi kung mag-introduction lang kayo, tapos i-cite na naman, dinisalaw ko na. Sinasabi ko na hindi namin kayang tanggapin yung sotolo for this particular issues. And we provided the basis for that too. Sa mga binigkas ng provision, doon kung mismo hinugot ko yung argumento namin. Ngayon, kung hindi ko yung sasagot, we will not allow you anymore. Kasi, nag-request si Congressman Suarez ng kasagutan, pangalan ang kailangan niya.
Mr. Chairman, may I,
Magbibigay po kayo ng pangalan o hindi?
may I request that I be allowed to confirm with my legal counsel, please?
O they're right beside you, they can confirm.
May I request for at least a
Yes.
1-minute conference with him?
Please.
Mr. Chairman, may I be recognized again, please?
Okay, please proceed.
1 minute lang siguro.
In our constitutional democracy, only the courts can interpret the laws, not Congress.
Okay.
So I will not answer that question because I believe Congress does not have the right to interpret laws.
Okay.
It is with Congress to pass laws but not to interpret.
Salamat po.
I take back my statements previously.
Mr. Chair,
Okay, then the Honorable Toby Chanco is recognized.
Mr. Chair, in the sense of fairness, since we really want to know the source, para malaman natin kung ano talaga yung pinagkakalat nito, would we allow Mr. Celis, Eric, to reveal the source in executive session? Would the chair allow?
Yes, Eric. It's an executive session, an option for you. It's an executive session, an option for you. There's a suggestion by Honorable Toby Chanco na botas na kung ayaw niyo po sabihin sa harap ng camera at sa publiko, Okay na ba? Executive session. We will call for executive session now. Para lahat ho ng options ay binigay na po namin sa inyo. Kyrie.
That would be very dangerous for other media practitioners present here because it will create a very dangerous and negative precedence on the protection of source provided by law. I will refuse it. Your Honor, due to
Salamat
respect.
po.
Mr.
Salamat
Chair,
po tayo. The Honorable Toby Campos still recognized for a follow-up question.
No, I just wanted to manifest that the reason that we're suggesting an executive session is to show na tayo naman, hindi naman tayo, na binibigyan natin siya ng pagkakataon na i-reveal. Kung talagang gusto niya pangalagaan, at least an executive session. But it seems ayaw niya pa rin po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, it is very clear that Mr. Celis does not want to answer the question to reveal the source, whether in this inquiry or in this executive session. So therefore, Mr. Chair, under Section 11, the power to contempt, letter E, grounds for contempt is for a resource person refusal to answer any relevant inquiry. Actually, Mr. Chair, Mr. Celis has already violated two provisions of Section 11. The first one, acting in a disrespectful manner, and the second one, which is very more important rather, is his refusal to answer the question in a relevant inquiry. On this note, Mr. Chair, I move to contempt, to cite for contempt Mr. Celis for on these two grounds under Section 11. So move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion.
Second the motion.
There's a second. Any objections? There's a motion, duly seconded. Any objections from any member
Mr. Chairman.
of this committee? There being no objections, on a unanimous vote, the Eric is cited for
Mr. Chairman,
contempt.
may I
And
recognize?
ask the Sergeant of Arms to please take on. Eric.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman.
can we request the Sergeant at Arms to practice his responsibility after the hearing? Because there's still other details.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Yes, the point of order, the Honorable.
The motion was for Mr. Celis to be cited in contempt. And I think there's supposed to be a second motion.
There was a second.
Yeah. No, the motion should be for him to be detained. Where? Because under our law, the contempt of the committee shall be deemed contempt of the House. The person cited in this section may, upon order of the committee, be detained in such place as the chairperson or acting chairperson may designate. In other words, we have to decide where to detain him and for how long, Mr. Chair. That's supposed to be the second motion.
Mr. Chair, I believe with regards to the duration, it will be up to this committee to decide, and of course, to Mr. Celis, kung kailan po nyo sasagutin yung tanong natin, and then maybe we could lift the contempt. But as long as hindi pa niya sinasagot yung tanong natin, the contempt will remain.
Mr. Chairman, final statement before niyo po ako ikulong.
Mr. Chair, I move for
Can I have a final statement, please? Before pa ako magpapakulong, I request the committee.
Mr. Chair. Silence is requested. The Honorable Pimentel has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In an earlier motion, Mr. Chair, we have already approved to cite for contempt Mr. Celis. On this note, Mr. Chair, I move to detain him in the premises of Congress as per our rules on Section 11. So move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion, duly seconded. The chair no objections. The motion of the Honorable Pimentel is okay. So, Sergeant of Arms.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the committee, may be given 1 minute, please.
In relation to the motion,
Oh.
can I have...
Because it is required
The Honorable
two-thirds from the
Paduano-
voto.
The Honorable Paduano is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, ang ano lang, point of inquiry lang, kasi we are not allowed to have a detention for indefinite period of time. So we have to establish how long. And the lifting of such detention will depend on the members of this committee, of course, with the cooperation of the person in contempt. So we have to establish how long, because we are not allowed to detain indefinitely based on so many jurisprudence, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
The Honorable Ako is recognized.
yes, there's a decision by the Supreme Court that we cannot detain a person indefinitely. And therefore, may I move that we come up with a definite period for detention insofar as Mr. Celis is concerned. For violation of paragraph C of section 11 of the rules.
The Honorable Ako, would you like to make a motion?
May I move that Mr. Celis be detained for being cited in contempt for violation of section 11, paragraph C, refusal to answer any relevant inquiry by the members of this committee for a period of 30 days.
Mr. Chairman.
He will go straight on December 30 unless he finds a motion for reconsideration. We have done this in the different committees already.
Mr. Chair,
There's a motion.
the reason why we cited Mr. Celis for contempt is because he does not want to answer the question. That is precisely why he violated paragraph C. So why will we give him a timeline? Eh kung kahit hindi pala siya sumagot, papalabasin natin si Mr. Celis. The reason why we cited him for contempt, eh gusto nga natin na sagutin niya yung relevant inquiry natin, na sagutin niya kung sino yung source niya. So I believe that we should not give a timeline, Mr. Chair.
After citing the jurisprudence of Mr. Chair, I submit to the wisdom of this committee.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay, session is suspended.
Mr. Chair, I would like to amend a previous motion. Therefore, Mr. Chair, I move to detain Mr. Celis, for he was cited in contempt until the adoption of the committee report at the plenary session, Mr. Chair. So moved.
Okay, so that is also an amendment to the motion of the Honorable Ako early on. There's a motion amending the motion of the Honorable Ako. Any second? Seconded? The chair hearing no objection, the chair adopts and approves the motion of the Honorable Johnny Pimentel. So the Sergeant of Arms is hereby directed to enforce the decision of this committee.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a comment, Mr. Chair?
Session suspended. Attorney Tolentino.
Thank you for this kangaroo court.
Session suspended.
Thank you for this kangaroo court. Thank you for this kangaroo court.